And people just literally cancel Lacage. Is that the vibe has changed. George Floyd's murder and Milwaukee's Pride Fest was no more than 2 weeks apart. I ain't never bumped coochies with a woman.
Welcome back to the drama with me, Dana Davis. Everything amazing. Today we have got a very special day ahead of us. I am going to be featuring my second guest on my show. He is former Mr. Gay Wisconsin, US of A, 2013, former Mr. Pride Fest Milwaukee, former Mr. Gay Madison, Mr. 5 Nightclub, and Mr. Club Wisconsin. He placed top 12 for Mr. Gay US of A for 3 consecutive years. Former cast member at Lacage Nightclub for the Transformation Vanity Affair show. And he's responsible for March with Pride for Black Lives Matter in June of 2020, which garnered 5,000 community members in support of the march. Without further ado, please help me welcome Montell Infiniti Ross.
Hi.
Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
I know that you have a man. How long have you guys been together?
5.5 years. Yeah, married life.
The moment that it was legal, did you just jump off and like we're doing it?
No. He's from West Africa. We met on a hookup site. To make a long story short, we ended up meeting face to face. I thought he was a very handsome young man, and from there it just popped off. And after about a year, he hit me with the big question, and I was very much no. All my flags went up. I was like, is he trying to get a citizenship? But once I realized that I really loved him and he loved me, and we got married, literally just me, him, a pastor, and 2 witnesses. It was very, very beautiful. My best friend got to attend, well, my gay son got to attend, and then the pastor, and that was it.
You have a son?
Yeah, not biological. I ain't never bumped coochies with a woman.
Wait, what do they call it? The platinum gay? Yeah, if you've never had sex with a girl.
Yeah.
What I really want to ask you, what is What Up Facey?
I'm so glad you asked me that. Okay.
Where was this born?
So What Up Facey is kind of like a signature at the end of any status that I create. When I say What Up Facey, it's kind of like whatever I had just posted, whether it's a picture, whether it's a status, whether it's my opinion, whether it's a repost on someone's stuff. If I put What Up Facey at the end of it, it's kind of saying like, what's up? What you think about this? What up Facey? What's up Facebook? And it's just ran. I now want to move into developing apparel for it and just branding myself in a whole nother way. So any of you bitches that notice What Up Facey coming up, make sure you support her hoe. 1-800 support this hoe. I just applied to purchase the trademark. I'm getting my LLC. I'm getting my business license.
What up, Facey?
What up, Facey?
You are also responsible for the March with Pride for Black Lives Matter in June of 2020.
Yes.
Which garnered 5,000 community members in support of the march, correct?
Yes.
How did you manage that outreach?
Oh my God, that came out of frustration. Anybody that knows me, that knows Montell, knows that Montell has a mouth. What had happened was, there was things happening everywhere when it came to the Black Lives Matter movement. I've noticed nothing coming from our Pride Fest here in Milwaukee. Nothing from the board, no official statement in support of Black Lives Matter, solidarity from the president, nothing. So I literally sat down, opened up my laptop, pushed live, and I said, you know what? I'm pissed. Why is there nothing that's happening on behalf of Milwaukee's Pride Fest that is showing solidarity towards the Black Lives Matter movement? And I said, you know what? If you bitches don't want to do this on your own, I'm gonna do it. Come join me on Sunday, June 7th in front of the Summerfest grounds where we normally would enter Pride Fest, and let's march for the Black Lives Matter movement. That live went viral. Then Kat Claus, she's part of the Milwaukee's LGBT Chamber of Commerce. She contacted me, she sent me an inbox, and she was like, there's a group that actually helps out with a lot of the marches that are happening here in Milwaukee, and I would love to connect you with them. She asked me in this group on Facebook, and it was this one young man. You can find him on Facebook by the name of Angel Vega. He's amazing. Hey Angel, I love you. He actually was one of the main organizers when it came to rounding individuals up to do volunteer services, whether it was getting medics, whether it was getting street marshals that actually helped with keeping the traffic directed. And then all of a sudden I just had organizations start inboxing me. The frustration video came out on Wednesday. By Thursday, we went into full planning. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we did the march. What I was expecting was about 500 people. Then when the messages started going and going up, I had no clue it was going to be on the level that it was. People were driving from Madison, from Green Bay, way up north in the Wausau area. It was one of the most amazing things that I could ever say. I played a big part in it.
So you are a former cast member of the Lacage Transformation Vanity Affair show.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me more about like what this show was and what your part was in it.
I inboxed Brianna Banks, no other introduction needed.
Okay.
If you don't know who Brianna Banks is, something's wrong with you, baby.
Seek professional help.
Yeah, seek it. So I inboxed Brianna, and Brianna was the show director for Friday night transformation shows at Lacage. She was the show director, so I sent her a message. I was like, sis, I think I want to start entertaining. I want to try out male lead entertaining. What do you think about booking me as a guest performer on a Friday night? And she was like, sure. She booked me on a Friday night, December 3rd, 2012. I would never forget that day ever in my life. So many people came out, and no lie, I made $632 in tips. It was like I was Magic Mike on that mother. They was making it rain. So at this point, I'm like, I want to keep doing this. At this point, I was hooked. So she steadily kept booking me as a guest performer. She was like, you want to be a cast member? I was only on Fridays nights. Jada and Whitney were the highlights of the Saturday Night Vanity Affair show. Jada used to always be like, well, if they're not going to book you on a Saturday, I'm going to have you come and do a guest spot and do a duet with me. So me and Jada started doing all these duets. The hottest songs that were coming out that had a male and a female entertainer, singer, Jada and I would do the duets. And that was just a joy. But in the same process as it being a joy, the club was ran by a very racist man at the time. I didn't get along with him, he didn't get along with me. And we used to have our back and forths. So eventually, the situation started to get so bad that they ended up leaving and selling the club or giving the club back to the original owner, which was George Prince. But at the same time that they had gave it up, they made sure to put certain people in charge of Fridays and Saturday nights that were not in charge during any of these times that Brianna and Jesse were involved. It changed the whole flow. No shade to the person that it was turned over to, but it just changed everything. So I quit, and all of a sudden there was a new show director by the name of Tommy Bordeaux. Eventually, he ended up becoming a drag queen, a bearded drag queen. It was different.
Right.
Yeah. Something. Yes. It was something new, and he was doing what he knew how to do. I mean, well, Tommy is a biracial young man. And one day what Tommy felt was, okay, I want to put together a show that is going to highlight people of color within the drag community. And he booked all people of color entertainers, and he booked me. But I guess Tommy didn't do his due diligence checks to make sure that the upper authority people, they knew of this show. People knew as far as like the patrons, but the actual management didn't know about the event, or so they claimed. So Tommy was pulled into a meeting with his boss and the bar manager. Basically, they had a help me understand conversation with Tommy. What was this show all about? So Tommy explains to them like, you guys approved it. He made sure that he had crossed all his T's and dotted all his I's. He felt something was gonna be strange about this particular meeting. So he set his phone to record as he walked into the building. And that's when the management and the owner have both made comments that were basically saying, how dare you put together a show that I did not approve of and that caters to that population. That is not what we do here at Lacage. And then he specifically stated, when I saw Montell booked, I knew that that was going to draw a crowd that I have worked so hard to no longer be in this club. So now you're basically saying saying, oh, Montell brings the black people, and I don't want the black people here. So now we have a problem.
So this comes into where Lacage gets canceled.
It's on its way. I'll say this, at that time, I've never had an issue with George. George is always a cool person. To me, he was just always a businessman. He owned the club. But I guess he had pulled a wool over my eyes because he was making all of these comments about me behind my back, saying that I drew crowds that he had worked so hard to get out of the club. He called them the riffraffs. So you're basically telling people, oh, I no longer wanted black people really in this club, and Montell being a black man, he's gonna draw the troublemakers, the people that caused problems, that didn't come in the club and buy drinks, they just wanted to stand around and harass his real customers. Like, all of this was said in this exit interview. They was firing Tommy and they were explaining why they were gonna fire him. And they used this show as a big piece of him being fired. So, Tommy, he went live and he explained his situation, that he was let go because he did a person of color show. I guess they told him that he could stay until the end of the month, but then he would have to go. So I inboxed him. I said, Tommy, you shouldn't have to put up with that. I mean, if they want you gone, why would you stay until the end of the month? Just go.
Right.
And he was like, oh, Montell, I'm so glad you hit me up because it's something you need to know because it was pertaining to you. He said, I got it recorded, Montell. And that bitch let me hear the recording. What did he do that for? I had went live. And I had pre-warned Lacage. I said, I don't know what's going on, but I'm hearing some strange things that got to do with me. And I hope what was said was not said in reference to me, because if it was, we're gonna have an issue. And I said this on my live. Nobody responded. Nobody thought I was serious. Then all of a sudden I heard the conversation. And when I heard it, I went off. From what I did, at that point, that's when I said, oh no, you just got me up. So we organized the protest in front of Lacage. It hit the news, Channel 6, Channel 5, Channel 12. They came right here in this house and interviewed Tommy and I and asked us what was going on. They tried to get statements from George. At first he was declining the statements, then all of a sudden he did respond back because it was going so viral that he knew he had to respond back. Then he was making posts on their Lacage page saying that I was a liar and that I'm just mad because of X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, why am I mad when I wasn't even working there, baby? You said something about me that you didn't think I was gonna respond to, baby. And that protest took George from having about 500-600 people at the club every Friday or Saturday to literally about 20 to 30. And they stopped going there. And people just literally canceled Lacage. At that time, that's when he like, hold on, I need to talk to Montell because he's basically f***ing my business up to the point that I'm not making any money and literally I just have these doors open and I'm paying all this money for this club for nothing. Yeah, and I felt like, well, let me give him a chance to sit down and conversate with me, which when I did that kind of canceled me. People were pissed with me. Oh, the girls were mad. Y'all were mad.
Because
like,
you went to go talk.
Because I went to go talk. Because I went towards a resolution. The goal was to have George quit or sell the bar. But then what I started thinking about in this process is, what if he does sell the bar? And what if he sells it to someone that's 10 times more richer than him, 10 times more racist than him, and 10 times more powerful than him? Then what's gonna happen to us? Or then I thought, what if he sells the bar and all of a sudden Lacage becomes a Walgreens? I didn't know what was gonna happen. So I'm like, I have to actually sit down and meet with this man. People got so mad at me and Montell, don't do it. You have to stay true to what's going on in the movement. Everybody just canceled me out. It was just like, you know what? He riled us all up and then all of a sudden he went to go talk to the enemy. I didn't go talk to the enemy. I was going to resolve things.
Right.
But the people didn't want that.
They didn't want a resolution.
They didn't want a resolution. They wanted him gone.
Can we go back to what the actionable items are that Lacage can do to resolve the issue?
Lacage could have, in my eyes, in order to resolve this issue, they could have had an open town hall meeting which was an open invite to everyone in the community to come and address their concerns that they have had with this particular owner or with the staff or with the establishment that has been done in a racist or discriminatory action. I have requested that George step away from any type of operations that had to deal with Lacage nightclub because you're a bar owner, you're not the bar staff. I also suggested that people of color needed to be put into leadership positions, such as a bar manager, maybe a general manager. We needed to see us within that realm, not just as barbacks, because at that point, only black people were barbacks or security. We needed to see us in management. And all these demands were listed out to George, and this conversation was had face to face. He actually was really down for it, I will say that. But they wanted me to spearhead it. They wanted me to do everything. And if we're being quite frank and honest right now, I wrote the apology letter that all of you guys read when Lacage actually apologized. And you guys clocked it immediately. It was like, you didn't write this, George didn't write this comes from a PR agent, this comes from a lawyer. No, it came from me. I wrote the apology letter and I gave it to George as like, this is what the community is going to want to hear. You can tweak it however you need to tweak it, but this is basically what they need to hear in order for us to move forward. And he just took my letter and posted it. He left and went back to Florida. Shout out to Vivian Storm. She's on social media. She's a UWM graduate and she always hosts the UWM drag show. She's an amazing entertainer, a great vocalist. She's a life coach. So she actually played an intricate role in helping me come up with the demands that we wanted to give to the college.
At this point, is it still possible for Lacage to take any of these actionable steps that you have demanded before? Is there any way that they could do that now?
Now, they've done things to where they wanted to show the inclusiveness of all people, especially people of color. So you have show directors that are people of color now. A lot of their entertainers and staff are people of color. At first, they had no door charge and things of that nature, but the door charge is back. And they tried. I will say they have tried. Now, do people of color go there now? Yep. Do they know about what happened and still go there? Yep. Do I blame them? No. I have been back since the situation. Because the situation that I always had was never with the staff, it was more so with the owner. He was the one who made the comment. We love Mike. We love a lot of their bar staff. I love Donnie. I actually like Jesse, who's the bar manager there now.
He was always very nice to me when I went.
He's always been a nice guy. Overall, Jesse's a good guy. I don't have any issues with him. He's never done me wrong.
But did you go back just to see like if these demands that you had listed out had been implemented?
I think after that march and after the situation that I had with Lacage, people had said that George was gone. I really want to see what was the vibe like even all the way down to the music, because there were complaints about music not being played. George used to tell the DJs don't play hip hop or R&B. Surprisingly, a lot was different, and I think that's what has drawn a lot of people back to Lacage, is that the vibe has changed. You don't walk in there and feel like you're a black person or a Latino person. People tell me you don't walk in and feel a color anymore. You walk in and you just feel like you're a patron. You do hear every now and then people post something, I'm never going back to Lacage again. X, Y, and Z happened to me. This is how they treated me. Baby, do what you gotta do for you. But for the most part, people tell me the environment is okay.
To you, should Lacage still remain canceled?
I think Lacage finally needs to address everything that has happened and actually give a formal apology that is actually heartfelt and not rehearsed. And from themselves, the staff, who's ever there, who's ever the management. We're not gonna get that from George. Let me just say that. But for the people that are currently working there now and that are in the leadership positions, I think they still have the opportunity to make good with what has happened. They're not doing anything to bring drama their way, but they're not doing anything to clear up any misconceptions that have happened on their behalf.
Okay, so it seems that there needs to be a public apology and more clarification on what it is that they're doing to resolve the issue.
Yes.
I thought that I just messed up my face again.
No, it looks good. I'm telling you, you might as well get on the stage with me. We're doing a duet.
Okay. We're doing a duet. All right, I'm ready for it. Oh my God, that would be so much fun.
That would. You would enjoy it. It's a lot easier than doing drag. You don't have to do so much, even though you just sat here and watched me put all this goddamn makeup on my face.
I have never been dressed up in drag. I have never done male entertainment well, I mean, I've go-go danced before, so that's a different.
I was gonna say, so what would you want to do more, drag or male?
Like to experiment with?
Yeah, just one good experiment. What would it be? Drag?
Both? If I can't do both, I choose drag.
Yeah, because you have the physique of actually being a great male entertainer.
Thank you.
Yeah. Is that setting spray? I need a little.
Please.
The aroma.
She said, I need a little. She took a sip.
I had to make it set up in there. In the blink of an eye, I'm gonna go from this to this.
Here's the final look. Look at this gorgeous man. Look at this outfit. I'm dying. Look at this blazer. It's so cool. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you.
It's sincerely been a pleasure. I enjoyed myself so much. To everyone at home, thank you so much for joining us as well. Please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And feel free to also find us both on Instagram. You can find me at Dana_Davis, and you may find Montell at
Montell Ross.
Also, just look right here below.
Yeah,
simple
right
for you.
Right there. Love you like a bro and sis. In Jesus Christ, amen. Because my last girlfriend, she was really head over heels for me. And it was really weird because she was a white girl. Yeah.
How strange.
Yeah. When I came back from college, I was like, yeah, baby girl, so this not gonna work. Charismatic. 1-800 support this hoe. I had went live. I went live.
I'm gonna hold you to this duet thing.
Yes! Y'all heard that. So next time you see Montell hit the stage in 2021, expect a duet with Dana. Love you like a bro and sis.
And Jesus Christ, amen.
What up, Facey?
What up, Facey?